My mom just texted me, "Good morning." I'm like, you have no idea how long I've been awake for.
At least your mom's not yelling at you.
Yeah. Good morning. I'm ready for bed. Nah.
I really wanted to get a group chat with Aaron and Josh made, so I'm feeling really good about those two. I don't want to be too overbearing in like leading strategy discussions because I feel like right now I'm in a good spot, so I don't want to like ruin that potentially. I'm in two different alliances. I don't know if there's other alliances on this tribe, like chats, but I'm in an alliance with my original breakout room, which is the River Rafters or something like that, with Matty, Antonio, and CJ. And I really like CJ and Antonio, but Matty just, I don't know, man. He's really strategic, and he's been just really like pushing agendas, and he just comes off as almost a little bit shady with how he's operating. And he already said that he trusts Josh, so it seems like he's gonna want to vote out Aaron or Bloody. So I think if we were to lose a challenge, Bloody and Aaron would be in trouble. Hopefully they would target Bloody instead of Aaron, because then I wouldn't have to try to save Aaron from the first vote. But I don't really want either of them to go, so I feel like I could potentially be a swing vote if we go to tribal, and either way I'll probably make some people upset. So I'm hoping we can just keep winning and putting this off as long as possible.
I just started to get hungry, and now I'm like, I waited too long. I'm gonna go get food, and then that's when everything is gonna come back for a challenge.
We can see if they're in their breakout rooms yet.
Oh, good call.
Oh, they are
still at Temple. Oh,
got voted out.
You're back. Let's see. Jennifer, Tasha, Luis, Jeffrey. No, Jeffrey's still there.
I can't remember who else is even. Jenny? No, she's there.
No, Jenny's there. I can't remember like the cast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So someone isn't there. Is it marked? Yeah, it's marked.
It is Mark.
Oh,
wow.
What?
Which one's Mark?
They voted out Mark.
We also got to open up our chats, and that's when stuff got really quiet in the like group Zoom chat thing, because everyone was just messaging like heads down, like just typing away. But thoughts based on that, I really got like GameBot vibes from Matty, who immediately went to like, who do you like, how are you feeling, all that kind of stuff. Right off the bat, made an alliance chat with all the people who went to the River breakout room first, which was me, Matty, CJ, and Michael. And yeah, and like of the people in the team, I don't necessarily think I would want to work with that for the long run, maybe not even the short run, depending on who they want to target. Because I really am liking Bloody, Tracy, and Aaron so far. And it seems like Matty wants to get Josh to join in to vote one of those two, because Tracy has immunity, so it's going to have to be one of the other two. And I don't want to see the girls go at this point. I do worry. I feel like it puts me in a really good position knowing that I can have some power in this game, because it seems like Matty is trying to set himself on one side, whereas I'm more in the middle. So I do like that, but it does make me worry that I will have to draw the line in the sand, and I don't want to do that.
It took too long getting in the bath.
Now I can.
Wow.
Wow.
Holy shit. I would have
bet.
bet so much money that dude would definitely make merge.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's so tough to like vote out the person that got into the bathtub for your challenge.
Oh, that's the guy they voted out.
He jumped into the cold water.
I feel really, really good with Tracy. Still feeling good with Antonio. Michael, I've actually like done a lot this round to really solidify that bond. Still feeling like he is a bit nervous, but I'm realizing now that nervousness is not because he is like on to me or anything. I think he's just nervous, which is great because I think that he would be a nice number to pick up. Rounding it out, I still think Aaron could be someone that I could work with. We had some kind of loose conversations on watching out for each other. The girlies need to watch out. And then Josh really reassured me in this round. I was really not looking to move waves with Josh because I felt pretty okay with him, but I also felt like he wasn't the kind of person to really play the game so hard, at least. Like, obviously, we're all playing games. But he was incredibly sweet and personable in our chat. And so I'm very happy about that. On the outs for me, surprisingly, CJ, I haven't really had the opportunity to connect with him as much as I did in the past. So that's going to be interesting.
Okay, confessional. So I still feel pretty on edge and jittery, but at the same time, I feel like I've connected a little bit more with some people. I think Bloody's a little bit more willing to work with me than I expected. I thought that was going to just be like a nil. So I think that'll be helpful. And then I feel really good about Matty and CJ now. And then I kind of have Aaron and Michael working, but the conversation is not flowing as well as I was hoping. It's just a lot going on, and I'm glad that we got these chats up before we had to vote, because that would have been really stressful. I feel okay, and I feel like I've got like enough people sort of just like keeping an eye out for me or feel good about me, like just kind of like needing people to feel good that I've got their back come jury or whatever.
Here I am. I was about to be voted out first, and now I'm apparently in a power position as of Mark. So, anyways, I'm feeling good. I feel good with my four group, and let's do this. Let's win the next challenge. I'm ready for it. I hope it's like an endurance or something that I'm actually good at, so I can like show the team that I can be beneficial besides talking shit.
But that's good, because like, I don't know, he threw you under the bus. And like in my video, I actually said, because I was like, I want to get rid of Mark.
And I want to get rid of Jeffrey because I haven't talked to him and he voted for me. Fuck you, Jeffrey.
And I want to go to the end with Jennifer. I picked you because I'm like, she's my savior.
Oh, girl. Oh, okay. It's just like, I really hope we win the challenge. And like, I'm so glad that like, that initial frigate room was like so perfect. Like,
and we're so strong.
Yeah.
Like we are so strong. And that's why when you asked me that question, I'm like, well, because Mark, when I was in the chat with Mark and Jeffrey, they're like, well, what can we do to like persuade you to switch your vote and then make it a tie? Mm-hmm. So, and then he's like, when he said that, I'm like, so if you're so good with them, who are you going to put up?
Yeah.
If you were trying to switch my vote, like, like how figure you being, Mark? Like you're pissing me off because you're trying to make me look like the bad person. Mm-hmm. When I said no, and I said I'm not being persuaded.
And then when I was in the room with him, like he was really pushing me to like say a name. He was like, oh, so like I said it was probably going to be either one of you, and he was like, oh, so you've made your decision, like, and then he was like, who are you going to vote? And I was like, I don't know yet. And he was like, it's me, right? And I was like, come on, like that's putting me on the spot.
But I'm just like, the fact that he tried to call me out, I'm like, I have not, when you said that, I gave you a hard no. So I have nothing to hide because you can't even say like, well, you said you might be down. I was just like, nope, like I already know. And if we do get down to the 4, then we get down to the 4. But like, I'd rather be down to the 4 than
like start switching now and like,
yeah, like what's the point? Like we already
good.
I think if we lose again, it's very unfortunate, but I think we kind of know where that vote is going, probably Jeffrey. And then after that, I personally have an idea between the 4 of us, but like at some point we're gonna have to like merge or swap or something because like there's no way.
No, I'm glad you're here, Jeff. I specifically voted Mark because I loved Mark, but I want you here. I think you're a great like team morale guy. I think you're gonna really help us in the challenges, and we're winning this next one. I don't know about everyone, but at least this next one we're gonna win.
We definitely are. Can't take that heartache again.
We are at an interesting spot in our tribe. I chose to keep Jeffrey because I think he'll move on from being a target pretty quickly. I think he's the most likely to immediately go back to like tribe strong, which I think has proved correct. It looks like he is the most likely to do that because he is doing that. And I also just had a really good question mark. There's a question mark conversation with Jocelyn. we were one-on-one in a breakout room for a good minute, and I was able to talk to her. Jocelyn's in a really interesting spot, and she's playing it great so far, of almost spectating the tribe. She's involved in all the dynamics, she's aware of what they all are, but she is yet to take a stance.
I do have to say, I'm really interested in working with you in the future. You're in such an interesting spot on this tribe of essentially being like a spectator.
It's really weird.
Yeah, but I think that puts you in such an interesting position for the next, like, for the future of the game, right?
Yeah.
Because you have all of the bonds with us, but you don't have to, not like
I've
claim
never voted
responsibility.
for anyone so far. Like, so if that lasts through parts of jury, like I've never cast a vote to send anyone out at that point. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah. It's funny. I think it's like, I feel like you and me might have a similar perspective on this. These people are a little aggressively all over the place. Like they are, don't get me wrong, I'm crazy, but like these people are notched up.
So that didn't go exactly the way that I first thought it was going to go, but by the time we went into the temple, that group meeting was surprising to me. Tasha has shown herself to be quite the competitor when it comes to arguments. We may not be competing as a team in the challenge as well, but Tasha's going to be hard to come up against on a one-on-one fight for your life situation. I think that I would have voted Jeff in a tiebreaker just because Mark really volunteered to go above and beyond on his getting in the bathtub challenge.
Yeah. For not performing well. There's a lot of
like oorah, like we got this. I don't know why we're worried about the challenge, only to have, we're 0-2 of falling flat on our face.
Yeah.
And then in the main big rooms to be like, oh, we are not unanimous. I'm like, what are we saying?
Right. Why is everything that has happened on our team now the other team knows all of it? Like immediately, proactively provided.
Yeah.
But me and Jocelyn had some one-on-one time where I tried to make a point of trying to bond with Jocelyn. I think come a merge, come a swap, Jocelyn's in a really interesting position, and I want to put myself close to that.
We all get along, and then all of a sudden, two people are like head-butting against each other, and I'm like, where did this come from?
And in like the public chat, like, don't get me wrong, if I'm Tasha, I'd be like thrown off by the fact that I got votes. Don't get me wrong. But to go in the public chat, like 10 minutes later and still be like openly, like I just, like, what does that achieve for anybody? All it does is show you is like frazzled and like almost bitter.
Yeah.
And then we have Tasha and Jeffrey who are still kind of like the pariahs of this tribe. Tasha's been in the majority these past 2 votes, but is kind of losing it a little bit. She was thrown off her game the instant she received 3 votes, and she has not really recovered. In fact, I would say she's only dug that hole deeper. And then Jeffrey just has that aspect of kind of like being the other option last vote. If we're to lose this tribe again, he's going to be the immediate thought. I don't know if I'd actually end up wanting to do that.
I wonder for Jocelyn what she's thinking right now.
Yeah. Like,
she's got to think she's going to be overthrown soon. Otherwise, she's just going to coast to the end. Not that I'm saying that she doesn't deserve it, but I don't know who deserves it. Like, deserve is a loaded word.
No, someone's going to overthrow. There's no way.
Should we talk about that? Like, maybe discuss like maybe who should
do the overthrowing?
Yeah.
So welcome back to the Challenge Grounds, everyone, here again to compete for the Eternal Flame. So, for our next challenge, we have PHEME'S Wrath. PHEME was the goddess of rumors and gossip. She often knew all the affairs of gods and mortals. Those who she favored, she increased their fame throughout the lands. But those who she didn't like, she would destroy their lives by spreading rumors from one person to another, which brings us to our challenge. In this challenge, Season 1 alumni Caro and Kyle have prepared a short video for you to watch. After you've completed your viewing of that video twice, you will then have 90 seconds to pass this information on to your next partner. From there, that player will have 90 seconds to share that information to a third player, and finally, the third player will have 90 seconds to share that information to the final player. The final players from each team will then answer a set of questions, and the player with the highest score by the end wins the eternal flame. And with a final twist, we will be adding the champion cycle modifier. Elders, please submit your 4 players from your team to compete in this challenge. All right, competing for Guyan is Antonio, CJ, Josh, and Bloody. Competing for ERON is Ben, Jeff, Jenny, and Louise. We'll give you a minute to strategize, and then we'll get started.
That's fast stacks.
Here. All right.
I'm going to open the document and put it in there.
All right. I'm going to start off in 3, 2, 1, action. Caro and Kyle won round 1, and that was the start of the fun.
Both solved a maze to kick off the 2 days.
And based on the vibe, they each pick a tribe.
Pre-merge of the game wasn't quite the same.
Caro, Lauren, and Caitlin established a bond. They all set their targets to the great beyond.
While the Titans kept voting and their wheels kept spinning, Kyle and the Primordials kept on winning. But the game didn't stop, so the players all trembled, because soon both groups had to go to the temple.
That was the point when they all forgot unity.
Because now they were competing for individual immunity.
And the rest of the story, I think it's pretty boring, because Caro and Kyle both lost to Lauren.
And if you ask me, that's a pretty sad fact, because now I'm doing bad raps while Lauren's counting fat stacks.
And the lesson here is that winning's not the easiest.
But one of you is going to be the winner of Prometheus.
Okay. Whew, that was a lot. Okay. When the stuff like flashed, I was not prepared for that. Let's see. So it's Kaon in the hands, and then the picture, universal, Omega. Okay, so it started with a countdown from 5. It stopped at 3. Then the logo appeared with the 2 hands up, but instead of saying Prometheus, it said Kaon, I think, Chaon.
Chaon, Kaon. So it's like chaos with N.
Okay, so it was Caro and Kyle. Caro started the rap first. Caro and Kyle won the first challenge, which was solving a maze, and then were team captains, and they both chose their teams. Caro immediately aligned with Caitlin and Lauren. So it was Caro, Caitlin, and Lauren. And Caro's tribe, the Titans, kept on losing. Kyle's tribe, the Primordials, kept on winning.
Then Caro came on. Actually, sorry, it said a title. The title said Bad Raps and Fat Stacks by Kyle and Caro.
Can you say that slowly?
Yes. Bad Raps and Fat Stacks.
Bad Raps and Fast Stacks.
Fat Stacks.
But it doesn't matter because Caro and Kyle both lost to Lauren. And Lauren's now, and that's a sad fact because Lauren's counting mad stacks. And then the lesson here is winning isn't easy, so take it serious because one of us will be the winner of Prometheus. I'm going to say all that again.
Okay.
Then it started with Caro rapping first. Caro.
And the lesson is winning isn't easy, so take it serious because one of us will be the winner of Prometheus.
What? Okay, so the video got corrupt. It said video corrupt, audio corrupt, something else. Sorry.
5 seconds.
And then the last word was omega. There was the word omega at the end.
Oh my God. What? Why would he do it like that?
Oh my God. Antonio, please. I'm sorry if I...
Caro and Kyle were in a challenge last year with PHEME'S, and they won. So then Caro, Caitlin, and Kyle aligned together, and Caro and Kyle then split up, and
Okay, so there's a countdown. So it starts with 5 and it ends with 3.
it didn't even really matter because Lauren ended up winning, and the fact that Lauren won was a sad fact, but Lauren's counting fat stacks.
So after 3, there's a 2 hand showing up, and then Caro starts rapping.
And the moral of the story is winning. This is tough. Winning isn't everything, I think. It's crazy. This was a crazy challenge.
And the words that shows up is bad raps, fat stacks.
Caro, Caitlin, and Kyle. Okay.
Was the alliance after Caro and Kyle won this maze game.
Caro and Kyle won the maze game. Okay.
After that, they aligned with Caitlin.
In the 2 hands, there's a text below. It shows Chaon, CHAON.
And then the moral of the story is, and I know this moral of the story is all jacked up. So I don't really remember. It's like the last fact of it is like a little line, and I don't remember it. But it's like winning isn't everything.
Okay, so and after that, I'm trying to remember.
30 seconds.
Okay.
Carol, Kyle, and Caro.
Caro, Caitlin, and Kyle.
Caitlin.
Aligned.
Caro, Caitlin, and Kyle.
Okay. Oh, and the last word is omega. Okay. So countdown 5 to 3.
Okay, so there's gonna be a countdown. It starts at 5 and it goes down to 4, 3. At 3, Caro comes in and she's doing a rap. In the rap, there's like text and it says bad raps, fat stacks. Bad raps, fat stacks.
Bad raps, fat stacks. Caro 3. Bad raps, fat stacks. Got it.
Okay, so there's Caro, Caitlin, and Kyle. Caro and Kyle, they previously won a maze game, and then they allied with Caitlin.
And the last word is omega. That's pretty much all I got.
Okay, so Kyle is also there during the rap.
I think it's like sort of a battle, so it's like 5.
Okay. There's an arrow pointing down toward omega.
It doesn't matter because Lauren ended up winning the game, and she won fat stacks of I don't want to say money, but like fat stacks. And the moral of the story is oh gosh, that there's more. Winning isn't everything.
Yeah, bad raps, fat stacks, Caro, Kyle, last words omega. There's a countdown, an arrow, and a picture. I'm trying to think, is there anything else?
Yeah. And then Lauren wins the game. She wins fat stacks, and the moral of the story is winning isn't everything.
Here we go. First question. Who started off the video? Who started off the video? Next question. What popped up at the beginning of the video? Next question. What was the title of the video? All right. Next question. Who were the creators of the video? Next question. Who said they would start off the video? Next question. What happened in the middle of the video? Okay. Next question. Who rapped the title of the video? All right, and the final question. What popped up at the very end of the video? All right. By a score of 6-1, Team Gayan wins the Eternal Flame, and we will see ERON at the temple. You may go back to your breakout rooms.
I won! So much for my threat level, but other than that, it felt really good to win. I had absolutely zero confidence that I was going to win, and in fact, I thought that maybe I was the 1 out of 8 versus the 6 out of 8. I had no clue that I actually got 6 of those answers right. I was just telling Aaron when coming into that challenge, I felt like I had like 3 facts that I knew off the top of my head. And then when Casey said that there would be 8 questions, I'm like, how the fuck am I going to fill out 8 questions with this? But the team did such a good job consolidating, really focusing in on the details that mattered.
I was shitting my pants thinking I was the person who got 1. I was convinced. I was like, I don't know what happened. There was amazing. Okay, like literally, it was like, okay, what's the title of the video? I'm like, I don't know. Is that the Bad Rap Fat Stacks? I said that. And then it was like, who started off the video? I'm like, I guess Caro. But then it was like, who said that they would start it? And I was like, Caro again? I said Caro for like every answer.
No, that one, Kyle started off. Like I was trying to
I knew that one of them had to have been a trick because it's like, okay, this is too duplicitous, but I didn't know which one. So I was like, I'm just going to go Caro for all of it.
Yeah. To be safe.
Did you get the last word? I can't remember.
Omega.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got Omega. And then Kyle.
You missed the video corruption.
Points down. What was it?
Yeah. So in the middle, like the video got corrupted.
Oh yeah. I forgot that.
Oh, that's what that
CJ
was.
forgot to pass that on.
Yeah.
I am so happy because I really need to pee, so I'll be right back. But thank you guys.
Oh my God.
Incredible show. The fact that I got 6 right, that is not me. That is you guys. That is incredible what you did.
I knew like I either had to focus on the details or on the words in the rap, and I was like, I feel like the details are going to be more important than the actual rap.
But those details were like literally what I needed. I think I was just missing 2. So
how did I do on picking the people?
So good.
I thought it was Matty that had the memory, which
I'm not a memory person.
Okay, I was like,
I was so
not Josh. So I was just like, so I got we talked about it.
In the addendum, it says that we highly advise you to discuss with your team your possible challenge strengths.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we should go around.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have cups, I guess.
Well, it specifically says discuss your possible challenge strengths.
Yeah.
So my gut tells me that like it might be like, okay, in this round we're playing this.
I know Michael said no puzzles and stuff like that for him. So I was like, okay, so Michael's out. And then Erin said she was better at like puzzles. So I was trying to remember whose memory. I remember CJ said he was memory. So I was like, okay, so we'll go with him. And then I knew Bloody was.
All right, that was a pretty quick round for us, so I don't have too much to say. Just the way that like this weird non-voting team tribe dynamic is shaking out for me personally is it feels like it's sort of moving towards Erin being on the bottom, which I mean, I feel okay with her, but I felt quickly aligned to her, but we haven't really talked much, so it's kind of and it seems to be shaking out that way, and I don't want to be attached to someone at the bottom like that. So I think I'm going to really align with Matty, CJ.
And I've done some more work, you know, like apparently Josh is really into reality shows outside the US, so that's something we're bonding over. Dude watched Real Love, which I've never heard anyone else that I've ever met that has watched that like obscure Japanese dating show. So I'm psyched, like we've already got that connection. Erin, I've done a lot of work with Erin this round. And will continue to. She is really smart, and though she might be a bit quieter, she's already kind of put down some seeds on starting a Matty vote. She hasn't said, let's vote Matty, but she said that he feels kind of game body. Agreed. And I think Antonio is also on the same page in that respect.
Matty has not responded to the message that I sent him on Messenger, so he's definitely the person that I would be most interested in seeing go. I sort of floated that to Bloody, at least as a like, have you talked to him? Because I haven't talked to him and he's clearly spending the whole time on Messenger, so that's not great. So I guess the people I'm not working with are CJ, Antonio, and Matty. But I've at least talked a little bit to CJ and Antonio.
I got none of that info. None of that info was... I was told that Lauren won fat stacks. That was repeated about 5 times. But the moral of the story was winning isn't everything.
So you got no info?
No, I guess I knew Kyle and Caro were in it, and I got told someone called Caitlin was also in it. So when it was like, you started the video, I was like, Caro, who ended the video? Kyle. I don't know. What popped up? I was like, the Prometheus logo. I don't know.
Isn't it frustrating? Because then you're like, well, now I'm gonna be blamed that like I got them wrong. Right. But if I didn't get any information, then how am I gonna get them right?
It was quite sad because like I don't know if it was Jeff to Jenny or just Jenny to me, but Jenny was like, I've barely got anything for you, and I was like, try your best.
Well.
Oh, sorry guys, I think somebody's got to go. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
I'll go, cause yeah.
Cause yeah, you're immune. Bye. So what Jeffrey told me was that, Ben, you literally gave him a paragraph and he would have rather like cliff notes, but you remembered everything.
I basically had all the information and I said it to him twice. And yeah, I said it quickly, but I covered everything.
Yeah.
I'll be fully upfront. Like I might not have been the best at that, but Jeffrey, man, I don't want to throw him under the bus. He instantly got every piece of information I gave him wrong. Instantly.
So we just stick with what we're doing and
I think we just vote Jeffrey out here. I'm fully willing to take some of the responsibility for that, but Jeffrey instantly messed up all the information I gave him.
So another confessional. This one's my more eventful one in recent days. I think I'm gonna coup here. Be a little cheeky. We're down to 6 on the tribe. Our 4, and then Jeffrey and Jocelyn. I'm still trying to keep Jocelyn in the loop a bit. But we're not winning the next challenge. I'm almost certain we're losing again. And we figured that it was time to probably try to coup Jocelyn. And so I graciously, out of the goodness of my heart, I volunteered to be the one who overthrows Jocelyn and be the elder That way, when we lose, we can vote out Jocelyn and keep our 4 strong. Bit of a boring pre-merge, I guess, from a viewer perspective, but it has not lacked the entertainment. It's just an absolute shit show, dude. It's the worst. I also want to coup because I think it'll be nice to not have to be... If we get down to a 4-person tribal, it will be nice to not have to be the one who decides who we're flipping on. I can just sit there and chill and watch, It'll be fun. But we'll see. This was a more uneventful round. I think Jeff's going, I'm cooing. Gotcha. We'll see.
We're all voting to overthrow, right?
When I messaged, they said, hold on, let me open. When I asked about it, I said, what happens if everybody overthrows? And it says it's in the addendum. So, did anybody read that? Like, what is? I have it. Let's see. If everybody
see it.
Let's see. If you wish to overthrow the current leader, you may sacrifice your vote at the temple at the start of the next cycle. Your team will have time to decide on who they would like to make the new elder. All votes for the new elder are due before the next challenge. The current elder does not get a vote. We'll then announce that the newest elder for your team. In the event of a tie, the elder remains the same. The final, but I don't get. So I was like, what if everybody? That's what it says. So I'm like, that doesn't really answer my question.
It's not looking good on my side. I'm well aware.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty clear. And I was pretty clear in my last tribal that I'm not gonna change. So.
I know. I was hoping. I have a hat that I was gonna throw on actually for the Leafs. Hold on.
Oh my God, it's me.
I know. It's hopefully perfect timing. I knew I needed to break the big guns out, and
So that challenge was interesting. I think that Jeff hurt himself by coming into the main room and going back on camera and talking. I don't think that it was supposed to go that way. I think he was still supposed to be off camera.
That was really insane, especially because I just get in there, and then Ben is like, I don't even know what he's talking about. He's rattling off.
Don't say too much.
He's just rattling off facts, and it's just tough to grasp it. I wish it wasn't in story form and it was pulled out and just the facts given to me, which is what I tried to do, but I got like the full paragraph, and it's just like,
no, that's what I do too. I take out like the major things that you should remember.
The facts. Yeah, I was stuck in the paragraph, so it was just like, I was like, wow, Ben is a monster for remembering the whole song. It's basically, it felt like a song. Wow.
You should have sang it.
I was gonna say, you
out of it.
Yeah, honestly.
Lord.
I tried my best.
I'm sure you did great.
Yeah, I think I did okay.
Oh, go off camera and audio. You're not allowed to talk about it.
But from my point of view, I would want to keep the player on our team who gave as much information as they could and tried to communicate as much as possible. I don't know from the way things are going that I'll have to give a vote. I'm excited that Louise and I have kind of connected in some private chats. I wouldn't call it an alliance quite yet, but we have both gotten on the same page that we clicked and we like each other, and hopefully, I don't know that it's time for a coup. It seems like everyone is pretty set on how they're gonna vote. I don't know if maybe Jeff would do it just to throw a little something in, but things are staying interesting. I would love for things to be a little duller and for us to just have a challenge that we win and some downtime to just get to know each other a little bit. That would be great.
They might have a new trade policy. They might. You guys can trade me.
I am messaging because we're allowed to message right now. So I am messaging Jennifer, and she said that she kind of feels like it should be Ben.
Ooh. Whoa. I'll do it. I will do it.
I'm like stressed out about that though.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. But everybody's going to be nice, you know? That can't be the mitigating factor. We're all nice, hopefully. I don't know. There might be some people playing more tactical than we are on the other side, though.
True. Hi.
Hey.
Okay, so how are you guys feeling?
I'm a little stressed.
Yeah, I'm very stressed.
I know that. I mean, I wasn't there for the challenge, but what would you think?
I don't know, like moving forward, like, because you think we're gonna do like a swap or like a So Jeffrey, you were saying maybe Ben.
Yeah, I mean, if there is anybody that could go, I would probably vote him. That's the only person we could really judge that first challenge.
For that challenge.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well. His memory was pretty decent, I think, for the stuff that's in the video. Mm-hmm. But like some of the other stuff got past him, which it would have probably gotten past a lot of us, but you know, he was the one who did that. That's the only thing that I have against him. I mean, we're all nice people. I try to detach that from making this decision. But yeah, I mean, if there's anybody, that's probably who I'm going to vote for.
Okay.
We'll see where it lands.
Yeah, and also like Ben, he is like a really strong player, so like he could probably like outbeat us. I'm just like nervous because like if we go into like a swap or something or like merge, who knows, like he's just like a really good player, you know?
I think he's like smarter than he's putting out.
Yeah, I would suggest putting Ben's name down and then.
But then that's what, 3 versus. How many people are left? Oh, 2. Okay. I'm like Luis and Ben.
Because if we're gonna do like a big move now, it would have to be now.
Yeah, to get out like a strong player.
Yeah.
I'm sweating again. I'm gonna have to like keep changing throughout this game.
I'm still here, dog. Let's go, man. I think I figured it out. Oh man, it's sad that Ben has to go, but that's my guy, dude. But it's a game. And there was no way. I mean, Jennifer really helped me. We came in together, so I'm glad that she had my back in the end of it. But wow, I don't know how that transpired. I put on the Louise hat, thinking that Louise was going to be the one that was swayed. Now I could totally be wrong. Tasha could vote me out, and it could be over. Tasha, Louise, and Ben, and I'm done. But if Tasha was swayed, it depends on how that conversation went with Ben. I could look totally wrong, and this could go poorly.
ERON, welcome back to the temple for a 3rd time. All right, getting down to the questions for today. So we gave you a little bit of extra time than normal for the second portion of team time leading up to this temple. So can you tell me what happened? Given that you had all this extra time, do you think there were a lot of productive conversations? Louise?
I think so. I think people got to move around a little bit more than they had in previous rounds. I think people were messaging more. I think this is the round I've messaged the most people. So I think people were more productive for sure. I think people are now getting the hang of being at Tribal. Not liking it, but getting used to it, begrudgingly so. So yeah, I think it was productive.
Okay. So, Jocelyn, you have now been sitting pretty for 3 rounds. You are immune. Do you think that maybe you could go all the way through day 1 with never being able to vote or receiving a vote?
I mean, anything's possible. I think if I was in the other position, I don't know. I don't know that I would be submitting a coup vote quite yet. None of us want to be making these decisions, but I don't think, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
All right. And moving on to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you were on the wrong side of the votes for the first cycle of the game. And then last cycle of the game, you were a contender to go home. So what are your thoughts coming into this temple?
It should obviously, it's gotten a little trickier. Out of all those people that I was in that alliance with, I'm the last one standing, I think, because some people didn't even have any like conversation with me at that point when they had to vote twice on me. And then other people it was situational, they were in the right group and the votes didn't go my way, and that's okay. That's just the way it boils down. But ultimately there's going to be a point where that group is going to have to compete with each other. They're going to have to look at each other as competitors rather than, that semi-group that was created in the beginning just because of how the conversation broke up, which is okay. If that happens now, then that's great. That works in my favor, and then it's anybody's game. If it happens next voting session, then all right, then I played a good game. But, I'm happy with the way I played. I'm happy with the conversations and the relationships that I developed in the game. And, worst things worse. I got like 18 new Facebook friends, so that's okay. I'll survive, but we'll see what happens. Who knows what will happen. I think there could be some things to shake up the voting session this one around, if I have any predictions, but I don't know.
All right, so Jeffrey seems pretty confident, or at least optimistic.
Optimistic, not confident. Optimistic. Confidence. Yeah, confidence could be misconstrued as cockiness. It's not. It's definitely optimism.
Fair. Okay, so Jeffrey seems optimistic, but he really does have a point. If Jocelyn doesn't have any power due to the fact that she's immune, and the 4 other players in the game are working together, it's going to get to a point where you got to vote one of you guys out, potentially next round. Wouldn't it potentially be the smart move to bring Jeffrey in and maybe get out someone who might be playing a little bit more of a dominant game? We're going to take this one to Jenny.
I think absolutely you have to think about, because with this type of game, you have to think about next steps. It's not every vote should be like, thinking about just this one vote. Everything that you do has a ripple effect. So I think if people are thinking about it, it would be advantageous to take Jeffrey. Sorry, also, what other was the question? Sorry.
Just really talking about potential dominant players on your guys' team, as well as maybe using Jeffrey as a number to upset a dominant player.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think those are my points where it's just do you make moves now or later? And everything that you do has a ripple effect, because you have to think next steps. So yeah, that's all I can say. I'm sorry.
All right, moving to Ben. Ben, do you find that there are any dominant players currently in this team? Anyone who's maybe just leading the charge a little bit more?
I'm going to give you 2 answers. I'm going to start with my cop-out answer, which is that no, I don't think there are any dominant players so far. I think we've all actually been really bizarrely, equally paced gameplay-wise. Nobody here has specifically stuck out to me as particularly going crazy. But then the lead off of that, I feel like that's what you say when you're the person leading the charge a little bit. So I'm just generally kind of a more boyish, higher energy boy, I'm a young lad, I have lots of spirit. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm viewed as maybe a little wily, a little crazier, a little higher energy, more pushing things. So from my perspective, not particularly, but I have enough self-awareness to say that I wouldn't be surprised if I'm that person for other people.
All right, we are going to bring things to a close with Tasha. So Tasha, making an observation here, your game in the beginning, through no fault of your own, was a bit shaky. We had in the first cycle, your name was on the block. Then nobody had even written your name down. Now, I haven't even heard anyone mention your name this temple. You seem to be doing pretty well. So fill me in on your game so far.
I feel like, so with my issues at the beginning, I wasn't able to really communicate with people, which is what I like to do. I like to talk to people, and that's just who I am as a person. So when that started happening, I was like shaking. I'm like, I didn't expect that a Wi-Fi issue was gonna like put me as a target like right off the bat. Like my name was the first thing that was said. Thankfully, I ended up like in the group that I was, and I was able to make connections. But at the same time, that is also detrimental because then you you form this group and you don't. It's a game. So it's like now you have this like strong group and you're like, now what do I do? Do I go one way? Do I go the other? So it's really hard to say. I am thankful that since the first round, my name hasn't been blowing up again. And I also do want to make it to merge to show Tracy that I have like really good Wi-Fi now. Other than that, I'm stoked that I've kind of dug myself out of the ground, because I know that the first round, I was like, for sure, I'm like, I'm going, like, I'll be first boot, I'm like, so I'm happy I was able to like claw myself out of the trenches, for sure.
Before we get to the vote, does anyone have any final thoughts? Please submit your vote and your voting confessional.
So for this round, I am officially cooing. I am doing that because I think we're losing next time. I'm almost certain of it. Don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're losing again. So Jocelyn can get sent out next time. The other thing I want to point out, I'm almost certain Jeffrey's going home unless I'm getting punked.
All right. So once the votes are read, the decision is final. A person with the highest amount of votes will be sacrificed from the game. First vote. Coup. At the start of next round, Jocelyn will be dethroned, and you will vote on a new team elder. Continuing on to the vote. Jeffrey. That's one vote, Jeffrey. Next vote. Ben. That's one Ben, one Jeff. Next vote. Jeffrey. That's two Jeff, one Ben. Next vote. And the third person sacrificed from the game, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I'm sorry, but that is enough. Do you have any final thoughts?
So I saw it coming. I thought I did a couple things to sway some people.
Head on over to the Prometheus YouTube page for additional scenes and content.
Mark and I had a great bond going, but it was not good enough to beat the rest of the squad, because then it divvied out to you're fighting against people that are in your group, and then the numbers weren't in my favor. But then Jennifer really wanted to help me and vote for me. And I was like, I hated that I had to run with Ben. I was like if it was a little more cutthroat, I could have been like, yeah, Ben didn't give me any of the story right or something like that. But in reality, he gave me a lot of the story. It just wasn't the right part of the story. And he seems to know the game. Like, I feel like that's somebody, like Ben could end up winning it because he's so aware of himself, the game, and all the different variables that are in the game. So it sucks because I really think Bloody would have been cool. I really wanted to get to know Bloody because she seemed really fun. But on my team, initially Mark, but then after a while, like, Jocelyn was the most, like, she would, like, give you strategy, like, go, like, hey, we go into the other room, I'll leave. Like, she was not worried about her game because she understood where her position was, and she was willing to sacrifice certain things because maybe it would be more of an advantage if she was were to be in these breakout rooms and talk to people. But instead, she would sacrifice her place in certain conversations to make sure moves could be made. So I think I enjoyed her the most because she was the most selfless, but everybody else was, everybody else was awesome. It was a good time.